In 2008, Brandon Swanson called his parents from a ditch near Lind, Minnesota at 1:55 in the morning and then said two words. The line went dead and he was gone. His phone had been active for 47 minutes. His car was intact. Searchers covered every road, every field, every stretch of water in the area for weeks. And that is the problem. Brandon was 19 years old. College freshman from Marshall, Minnesota, studying to become an electrical lineman at Southwest Minnesota State University. Stable, grounded, close with his family. By every account, not a kid who vanished on purpose. On the night of May 13, 2008, he had been at a party near Canby. He drove home when he wasn't supposed to. Somewhere on those rural roads, he went off the road and put his car in a ditch. He was not injured. He called his parents. He said he needed a ride. And that is the moment this case opens, because everything that followed is documented in real time and it still makes no sense. His father, Brian, took the call around 1:55 in the morning. Brandon said the car was in a ditch near Lind. Brian told him to stay on the line and started driving. Brandon stayed on the phone the entire time, walking, talking, calm. He said he could see the lights of town ahead of him. He said he was going to walk toward them. Brian kept talking. Brandon kept moving. For 47 minutes the call stayed open. His voice was measured. No panic, no indication of distress. Then at some point after 2:30 a.m. Brandon said two words, "Oh shit," and the line went dead. Brian called back immediately. Then again. Voicemail. Brian and his wife arrived in the Lind area and drove every road they could reach. No Brandon, nothing moving in the dark. They called 911 as the sun came up. Law enforcement arrived that morning. Then more. They walked the fields surrounding Lind in a grid, tree lines, ditches, culverts, farmsteads. Search dogs were brought in. They found nothing. No footprints, no discarded item. No clothing, no blood, no indication a person had passed through. And then they found his car, and this is where the case gets structurally wrong. Brandon's car was not near Lind. It was 7 miles away near Taunton. 7 miles from where Brandon told his father he was standing. Which means that for 47 minutes, while Brandon walked toward what he believed were the lights of town, he was walking in completely the wrong direction. He was lost in a way he did not know he was lost. And not one person on any of those rural roads, no driver, no farmer, no one saw a 19-year-old walking alone in the dark. Not a single witness. The most accepted explanation is the water. Brandon was disoriented, walking through darkness in a part of Minnesota laced with drainage channels and river tributaries. If he stepped into water, if "oh shit" was the instant he went in, it would explain the abrupt end. It would explain why he never called back. The area was searched thoroughly. Divers went in. Sonar equipment was deployed. Low water periods exposed the banks and searchers walked them. The theory is coherent. A disoriented young man, alone, walking toward lights that were not where he thought they were, goes into water in the dark and does not come back up. Remember the 47-minute call, the calm voice, the walking, the lights of a town he could not reach. Except the water gave back nothing. Not a shoe. Not fabric caught on the bank. Not a body recovered in the days following, which is typical in comparable drowning cases in similar conditions. The Minnesota River was not the only water examined. Every drainage channel, every low-lying area with standing water in Lincoln County was covered. 16 years have passed. The region has flooded and receded multiple times since 2008. No remains have ever surfaced. Not a fragment, not a fiber. In most drowning cases, even complicated ones, even rural ones, something is recovered. The absence here is not proof he was not in the water, but it is the kind of absence that investigators do not normally encounter, and it is why the file has never been closed. Here is the detail that cannot be explained away. Brandon was on the phone with his father for 47 minutes. His father heard everything: ambient sound, footsteps, the quiet of open Minnesota farmland at 2 in the morning, and Brandon's voice, steady and close. Then "oh shit." Then nothing. The call did not degrade. No static, no fading signal. It ended in a single instant. Whatever happened to Brandon Swanson happened in one moment. Something he saw, or something that reached him that he had no time to speak about. No time to process, no time to do anything other than react with 2 words and go silent. Brandon Swanson's case remains officially open. His disappearance led directly to Brandon's Law, signed in Minnesota in 2009, removing the waiting period for adult missing persons reports. He has never been found. No remains. No explanation. 47 minutes of his voice, 2 words, then nothing. What did Brandon Swanson see in that last instant?